Hey, what's up guys? Been a minute. Before the video starts, I want to give some context as to what you're about to watch. So my name is Preston. I just turned 20 a few weeks ago, and I run a small business where we build and sell custom gaming PCs on payment plans. And most people watching this already know that, but what you might not know is for the past 6 months, I've actually been a co-owner of an education company with 2 other partners. The company was created to provide financial literacy and entrepreneurial education to teens, and I believed in the mission really strongly. I ended up creating hundreds of resources for it. However, as of a couple weeks ago, the founder made a decision to dissolve the company in order to focus on other ventures. As a part of my involvement in the company, I created a series of interactive videos that taught the teens how to start the best business for them. The strategies in this video are, in my opinion, the best way for anybody to start a business, not just the teens. I can't tell you how to make $1 million in profit each month. I think most of y'all know I'm not even making $1 million a year yet. But what I can do is tell you how to start a business. I've helped multiple people start their companies and get their first clients, and it's just clockwork at this point. This series is just an explanation of how I go about doing it. Since I already have access to the resource and believe it's extremely valuable, I wanted to release this course that was supposed to be paid here on YouTube for free. I have nothing to sell you. I just know how badly I wish I had this video in front of me when I was first starting out, because it would have made figuring out what to do way easier. Again, please remember this was a short series of videos that I initially made for teenagers on an interactive platform. So if you'd like access to any of the resources mentioned in the video, or you just want some general business guidance, DM me at Prestito on Instagram and I'll get back to you for free. Without further ado, enjoy my goofy hat hair and best of luck.
Hey future entrepreneurs, ready to turn your ideas into action? For those of you who don't know me, my name's Preston Lewin. I'm a successful business owner from Dallas, Texas, and I'm going to be teaching you everything that I know about business right here on Bayani. Together, we're going to dive into entrepreneurship, step by step. In chapter 1 of my business building course, you'll learn what entrepreneurship is and why we do it, how to come up with business ideas that you're passionate about, how to choose the best business for you, how to create a super simple business plan that'll set you up for success, and how to get your first 5 customers and continue to grow. Sound like a lot? Don't worry, I'm here to walk you through it every step of the way. Each step we take gets us closer to making your dream a reality. So with that out of the way, let's learn, plan, and conquer the world of business together. The word entrepreneurship can be used to describe a lot of things, but put simply, it's the process of starting and running a business. It's when someone has a great idea, takes a chance, and turns their dream into a reality. Whether it's creating a new game, selling homemade ice cream, or even starting a lawn care service. Successful entrepreneurs are problem solvers. They see a problem or a need in the real world and then start a business to solve it. For example, Lego saw a problem. Kids wanted more creative toys to play with. They were limited. So Lego started making these cool building blocks that let kids build whatever they imagine. By selling their blocks, they solved the problem of limited toys by creating a fun and flexible toy that encourages creativity. Or let's say you notice a problem in your neighborhood. Your neighbors go on vacation all the time and don't have time to water their plants. You can start a small business offering to water their plants while they're gone in exchange for a little bit of cash. Starting a business in order to solve a problem that you see is all it takes to make you an entrepreneur. Now that you know what it means to be an entrepreneur, why should you care? What are the benefits of successful entrepreneurship? First and foremost is freedom. Entrepreneurs have complete freedom to choose how they spend their time, who they interact with, and how they run their business. This also means that you're fireproof, meaning nobody can fire you. You can do anything you want because you're the one in charge of your own destiny. Next is creativity and innovation. Entrepreneurship gives you the opportunity to make your new ideas a reality and make a lasting impact on the world by solving problems and meeting needs in innovative ways. Entrepreneurs also create jobs and help the economy. You'll grow as a person as you develop diverse skill sets, meet and work with new people, face challenges, and learn from your failures. And last but not least, if you're an entrepreneur, the amount of money that you can make has no limits. This means complete financial freedom and security, the ability to live the lifestyle that you want, and the opportunity to express outrageous generosity and change people's lives forever. Entrepreneurship is amazing, important, and has endless benefits. However, what it isn't is easy. Since entrepreneurs are problem solvers, they constantly face, problems. Entrepreneurs often face challenges such as dealing with intense competition, upset customers, managing finances, and balancing work-life demands. Most importantly, entrepreneurs experience failure a lot. Okay, well that all sounds tough. How do we overcome those problems? As an entrepreneur, the #1 rule is never give up. Never give up! Successful entrepreneurs are resilient and adaptable. This means instead of being upset about their challenges, problems, and failures, they learn from them and keep going. They adapt to changes, finding new ways to approach problems, and grow stronger through every obstacle they face. Imagine a young entrepreneur named Max who wants to sell lemonade in his neighborhood. At first, he set up a stand in his front yard, but didn't get any customers. Instead of giving up, Max shows resilience and keeps trying. He adapts by moving his stand to a more visible area, the park. Now more people are driving by his lemonade stand, but he still hasn't sold any lemonade. So Max adapts by focusing on getting more attention. He makes a colorful sign and invests his money in brightly colored cups. Now more people are stopping to look at his stand, but still no sales. Max has been outside for hours. He's hot, he's tired, and he's out of money because he spent it all on brightly colored cups. Instead of giving up, Max shows resilience by walking up to people at the park with a smile and offering a free sample of his lemonade. After tasting his lemonade, more people at the park begin to buy his lemonade. Before long, Max sells so much lemonade that he runs out of cups and has to go buy more. Max now has enough money to buy more cups and to buy himself a fun video game at the store. When he gets back to the stand, he's able to give some of the money that he made to a younger kid so he can start his own lemonade stand. Max had many opportunities to give up and go back inside without making any money or learning any lessons. But instead, he showed resilience and adapted his business to be more successful. By showing resilience and learning from his failures to grow as an entrepreneur, Max was infinitely more successful. This is why resilience and adaptability are so important. Entrepreneurship is not an easy journey. It's really hard. But for those of you who learn from your failures and never give up, the future is extremely bright. Welcome back. Now that you have a good understanding of what entrepreneurship is, why we do it, and the importance of resilience, let's get into the good stuff. In this module, we're going to come up with our first business ideas by taking our non-business interests, like video games, sports, or pets, and identifying market gaps or needs within those categories. For this module and every module moving forward, you're going to need a place to write things down. It can be a Google Doc, your notes, or traditional pen and paper, whatever you prefer. Ready to get started? Awesome, let's go. The foundation of a successful business often lies in something you're already passionate about. Your hobbies, interests, and the things that you lose track of time doing could very well be the source of your next business idea. I want you to make a list of your interests, the things that excite you. For me, I love computers, going to the gym, watches, drawing, cars, anime, playing trumpet, comic books, and video games. Try to write down at least 5 things that you're really interested in. Once you have your list, let's move on to the next step. If you remember back to Module 1, entrepreneurs are problem solvers. They see a problem or a need in the real world and then start a business to solve it. Right now, we're going to focus on identifying those problems. Take a look at your list of interests and consider the issues or needs within those spaces and write them down. Taking a look at my list, some issues or needs may be, for computers, accessibility challenges for older users, a lack of affordable repair services or cybersecurity threats. For going to the gym, overcrowded gyms during peak hours, a lack of guidance and experience in people's fitness journeys, limited availability of specialized fitness equipment. For watches, could be expensive maintenance or repair costs, a lack of eco-friendly options in the market, or it's overwhelming to learn about luxury watches. For drawing, art supplies can be expensive, there are limited platforms to showcase and sell artwork, and there's a lack of accessible art workshops and education in certain areas. For cars, there's expensive maintenance and repair costs, getting them detailed can be a hassle and too expensive, and there's a lack of eco-friendly options in the years past. For anime, limited availability of legal streaming options for certain series, a lack of diverse representation in mainstream anime, official merchandise such as figures are too expensive. For playing trumpet, limited availability of affordable beginner-level instruments, expensive repair costs, and a lack of quality lesson teachers outside of schools. For comic books, it could be hard to find vintage editions of certain books, limited digital platforms for comic book readers, or it's difficult to sell comics when you're done with them. And finally, for video games, there could be issues with toxicity in online gaming communities, a lack of accessibility features for older or differently abled gamers, and new games are often too expensive. Do your best to write down at least 2 issues or needs for each item on your list. Once you have them down, you're good to keep going. Now that we've made a list of our interests and identified problems within those niches, it's time to problem solve. Looking at the issues or needs that you wrote down, let's come up with businesses that we could start in order to solve those problems or fulfill those needs. For this step, I want you to pretend like time, money, and experience are not issues for you, so no business is off limits. We'll cover your constraints and limitations in the next module. Once again, taking a look at my list, for accessibility challenges for older users, we could create and sell an operating system with large, simple, easy to read font and instructions to make it more accessible to the elderly. For lack of affordable repair services, we could offer an affordable computer maintenance subscription service. For cybersecurity threats, we could offer cybersecurity consulting for small businesses. For overcrowded gyms during peak hours, we could create a check-in app for gym schedule optimization. For difficulty in finding personalized workout routines, we could create a service business where we create workout routines for people. For limited availability of specialized fitness equipment, we could create a rental service for specialized fitness equipment. For expensive watch maintenance or repair costs, we could create an affordable watch repair service business. For a lack of eco-friendly options in the market, we could create a watch company that uses recycled materials.
I dropped my wallet. I dropped my wallet.
To solve the problem of luxury watches being overwhelming to learn about, we could create a website to easily compare and learn about watches. Art supplies being too expensive, we could create an online marketplace to buy art supplies at wholesale prices. For limited platforms to showcase and sell artwork, we could create a mobile app for artists to showcase and sell their art. For a lack of accessible art workshops and education in certain areas, you could start your own weekly art workshop in your area. For For car maintenance and repair being expensive, we could create a high-performance mobile maintenance subscription service. For car detailing being a hassle and too expensive, we could create a mobile detailing service where we come to our clients. For a lack of eco-friendly options in years past, we could create a sustainable supercar modification service business. For a limited availability of legal streaming options in certain areas, we could create our own niche anime streaming platform. For lack of diversity and representation in mainstream anime, we could create an anime production studio that focuses on diversity. For official merchandise, such as figures being too expensive, we could create an online marketplace for secondhand official merchandise. For playing trumpet, if there's a limited availability of affordable beginner-level instruments, we could start an affordable instrument rental service. For expensive repair costs, an affordable repair shop with a membership program. For a lack of quality lesson teachers outside of schools, we could create an app for meeting lesson teachers and finding students in your area. In regards to comic books, if it's hard to find vintage editions of certain books, we could create an online marketplace for rare comic books. For limited digital platforms for comic book readers, we could create a digital store to rent comics. And for difficulty to sell comics once you're done with them, we could buy people's used comics from them and resell them as a fun subscription box. Finally, for video games, if there are issues with toxicity in online gaming communities, we could create a gaming community moderation service. If there's a lack of accessibility features for older or differently abled gamers, we could create an accessibility consultancy for game devs. And finally, if new games are often too expensive, we could create our own AAA level game and sell it at an affordable price. Write down a solution-based business idea for every problem or need, then move on to Module 3. In the previous module, we came up with a long list of business ideas. In this module, we're going to narrow that list down by determining which ideas are most achievable for us based off of our current resources. Ready? Let's go. Understanding your resources and limitations is vital when choosing a business idea. Let's say you're a high school student who loves sports and is really good with social media. You may have the idea of creating a social media app for athletes to connect with each other. This idea sounds great on paper, until you consider that you have no coding experience. And the average cost to create and market a social media app effectively can be in excess of $1 million. In this situation, your resources are your social media skills and your time. Your limitations are your lack of experience and your lack of money.
I'm all out of money!
This means we need to restructure our business model to one that utilizes our social media skills and time, but doesn't require much money or technical expertise. A better business idea for this individual would be a social media agency that helps high school athletes get more likes, followers, and engagement on their social media posts. Make sense? Another great example of somebody understanding their resources and limitations is Damon John from the show Shark Tank. John started his clothing line FUBU in Queens, New York with nothing but $40 worth of fabric and a passion for fashion. However, his limited resources didn't stop him. They fueled his creativity. John sewed hats himself and sold them on the street, slowly growing his brand. Today, FUBU has grossed over $6 billion in sales. Damon John, understanding his resources and limitations, allowed him to start a business that worked for him. We're gonna do the same. Now I want you to make two lists. One of your resources and one of your limitations. Let's start with your resources. These are your financial assets, skills,
Knowledge.
connections, time, tools, and personal attributes like creativity or resilience. For me, my resources would be my current computer business and cash flow, my personal network of entrepreneurs. I have lots of free time, business acumen and skills, technical computer skills, creativity and artistry, and a passion for success. Try and list at least 5 resources. Some of your resources may include your time, your lack of financial obligations since most of your parents pay for everything for you, and your access to a strong network of seasoned entrepreneurs in the Bayani community. There's a saying in entrepreneurship: your network is your net worth. This is because your personal network opens the doors to many opportunities like collaborations, clientele, and funding. Next, we're gonna list out our limitations. These are the resources that you don't have. My limitations would be liquid startup capital, limited knowledge of certain markets, and my age, since I'm still 19. Some of your limitations may include a lack of money to start with, time constraints if you have a busy schedule, a limited network, or legal constraints due to your age. Now that we have a list of our resources and limitations, let's use them to narrow down the list of business ideas that we came up with back in Module 2. If one or more of your limitations makes it unreasonable for you to pursue one of the business ideas, cross it out. For my list, this means that we couldn't offer cybersecurity consulting for small businesses because I don't have knowledge about cybersecurity.
Are you stupid or something?
It also means that I couldn't create a check-in app for gym schedule optimization because I don't have enough liquid startup capital to start the business or enough knowledge of the market. I also wouldn't be able to start an affordable repair shop because I don't have the technical knowledge to fix instruments. After crossing off these ideas, this narrows my list down to an affordable computer maintenance subscription service, fitness consulting, creating a website to easily compare and learn about watches, a weekly art workshop in my area, a mobile car detailing service, an online marketplace for secondhand official anime merchandise, buying people's used comic books and reselling them as a fun subscription box, or creating a gaming community moderation service. Congratulations! Now we have a narrowed down list of business ideas that solve problems, are achievable for us based on our resources and limitations, and that we're interested in. Move on to Module 4, where we'll learn how to choose the best business idea out of that bunch. In Module 3, we narrowed down our list of business ideas by determining which ones were achievable for us based on our resources and limitations. In this module, we're going to go over the final things that you need to consider when choosing your business idea. Use the business considerations outline attached below and fill it out alongside me for each of your business ideas. So you have an amazing business idea, or maybe even a few of them. Let's make sure it's a winner. Before we move forward, pause the video and write down your business idea and the problem your idea is solving in their respective boxes. Feel free to rewatch this module for each business idea if you need some more guidance. In this video, I'm going to use my fitness consulting business idea from the list that we narrowed down in Module 3. This idea is solving the problem of a lack of guidance and experience in people's fitness journeys. We need to make sure that there's market demand for your product or service. This means that there are lots of people out there with a problem that your idea solves, and that those people are willing to buy your thing. There are two easy ways to determine if there's market demand for your business idea. First, check social media, the internet, and your local community to see if people are actually experiencing the problem that your business solves. Next, find out if you have any competition. If others are already using your business idea, great news, that means there's demand. Finally, your potential customers. They hold the keys. When doing market research, it's important to know your target audience, the people buying your thing. Understanding who you're selling to is like having a cheat code to success. So, let's paint a picture. When you think of the people who would buy your thing, how old are they? Where do they live? What do they enjoy doing? How much money do they make? All of this is important information to consider. For our fitness consulting business, I'm going to target people that are ages 18 to 35 because that's who's most likely to be active. I'm going to only target people in my location, Dallas, Texas, that are interested in fitness, physical health, and mental health, and that are middle class to upper class so we can charge more money for it. Next up is your unique value proposition, or your UVP. In other words, how will your business be different from the competition? Higher quality products? Faster service? Is your location unique? Maybe you're the only one in your city and that's your UVP. Or maybe you're just going to be more personable. One benefit of having a super small business is that you have the ability to give individualized attention to all of your clients. This is a great UVP that larger companies have difficulty competing with. Once you've come up with what will set your business apart from the competitors, write it down in the box labeled unique value proposition. For my fitness consulting business, my unique value proposition is we're going to travel to the clients to give the fitness and diet consultations. Growth potential means how much your business can grow over time. When considering if our business idea has growth potential, there are two main factors to consider. The first one goes back to the market research we did earlier. Is there a large and/or growing market for your business? If so, great. Next, we need to consider scalability. Can the product or service be easily replicated or produced in larger quantities without a significant increase in resources? For example, let's say your business is selling homemade specialty cookies where every cookie has a picture drawn on it with frosting. It would be possible to scale by hiring more people to bake and decorate cookies, as well as buying more ovens, but scaling would be difficult and costly. However, if your business decides to sell cookie recipes instead, you wouldn't have to hire more people to bake the cookies or buy more ovens in order to grow, because your customers will bake the cookies themselves. This idea is much more scalable because it requires less resources to grow. Once you've thought about how much growth potential your idea has, write down yes if it seems easily scalable, or no if it would be more difficult to scale. Don't worry, for your first business, this box won't carry as much weight as the other boxes. My fitness business would be way more difficult to scale because we would have to hire more trainers to drive to people's houses. So I'm gonna write no. If I wanted to adapt the business to be more scalable, I could sell workout programs instead of training people myself, as long as we still had a UVP. Now let's talk about risk assessment. Every business has risks involved. We just need to find out how bad the risks are. And if we move forward with that business idea, think of creative ways to overcome them. Make a list of the things that could go wrong with your business idea in the box labeled risks. For my fitness consulting business, some things could be the market being too competitive, client retention, meaning clients not coming back to us after they get their first routine, or liability concerns, meaning if somebody gets hurt using our routines, it may be problematic. Next, think about how likely each problem is to happen and how much damage it would cause to your business if it occurred. Some might be small issues, while others might be really serious. My market being competitive is likely to happen, but it won't cause too much damage because we can overcome it with hard work and our UVP. However, liability concerns, somebody getting hurt with our routines and then suing us, is much more serious and could cost us tens of thousands of dollars. To avoid this, we need to make sure we had proper waivers and documentation in place. Like I mentioned before, all businesses have risks, and all risks are overcomeable with hard work and creative problem solving. You just have to decide how much risk you're comfortable taking on. Some people like taking on big chances, while others prefer to be more careful. For your first business, I would suggest taking on an idea with less risk since you're still learning and growing as an entrepreneur and a problem solver. Last but certainly not least, rank how passionate you are about the idea on a scale of 1 to 5, and then write it in the final box. 1 being the least interesting and 5 being the most. Your excitement for the idea is one of the biggest factors to consider when starting a business, because it means you'll be more motivated to put in the work that it takes to be successful. For me, the fitness consulting business would be a 4. Congratulations! Now that you've narrowed down your list of business ideas, it's time to choose the one that you like best. Consider all the factors that we wrote down, with your passion and excitement for the idea being the most important. Take your time making this decision. Once you've chosen your idea, move on to Module 5. In Module 4, we looked at our narrowed down list of business ideas, made final considerations by filling out the provided outline, and then chose which business we wanted to start. In this module, we're going to take that business idea and create a super simple business plan so that we have all the information that we need to start doing business. Because everybody's businesses are going to be different, I'm going to let you loose to fill out your business plan template on your own. There are 2 templates below, one for service-based businesses and one for product-based businesses. A service-based business is where you make your money doing things for other people, like mowing lawns, washing cars, or walking pets. A product-based business is where you make your money selling something, such as a video game, t-shirts, or chips. Be sure to select the right template for your business. And remember, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out. Congratulations! Now that you've laid out all the information you need to start doing business, it's time to schedule your consultation with a Bayani educator to be approved to start operating. Simply message us directly on the Bayani platform to schedule. This consultation is just a friendly meeting for us to make sure that your business idea is the best one for you and that the plan that you have in place is bulletproof. We may decide that you need to revisit your list of business ideas. However, once your idea is approved, you're ready to move on to Module 6. Now that you've planned out exactly what you're going to offer, the only thing left to do is to start doing business. Starting your business can be overwhelming, so I'm going to break it down into simple action steps for you. This module is going to show you how to get your first 5 customers using a modified version of Alex Hormozi's First 5 Clients framework from his book, $100 Million Leads. We are not sponsored or affiliated with Alex Hormozi, we just love his work. The way we're going to get our first 5 customers is through warm outreach. The following videos are going to explain what warm outreach is, and then break down how to sell your offer without sounding like a sleazy salesman. Warm outreach is reaching out directly to people that already know you. These people are also known as your warm audience. Think friends, family, followers, and colleagues. This is the easiest way to find people to sell to, and it's super effective. Warm reach-outs usually come in the form of calls, texts, DMs, and emails. To successfully get our first 5 customers through warm outreach, there are 7 steps. Make a list, pick a platform, personalize your greeting, reach out to at least 100 people per day, use the A.C.A framework, make the offer, and handle objections. Let's get into it. Step 1, make a list. In order to contact people, we need a list of people to contact. When starting out, you may think, but I don't have a list. This is false. Everybody has a list. I want you to open up your phone contacts. That's list number 1. Then, if you have social media, go look at the list of people that follow you. There's another list. Finally, go to your email and pull up everybody you've ever emailed. There's another. Before you freak out, we're not going to sell to these people. Don't worry, just stay with me. Now that you have a long, extensive list of people in your warm audience that you're able to contact, move on to the next video. Step 2, pick a platform. Now that we have our lists, we need to pick a platform to start contacting people on. I suggest you take a look at your phone contacts and your social media following. Then, start with the one that you have the most people on. Step 3, personalize your greeting. Before reaching out to anybody, we want to make sure that we personalize our message. This is so that our conversation feels more natural. Look at their social media platforms for a second to see what's new. Be human.
You're human, and I was human. I am human, still.
The goal is to start a natural conversation, then efficiently guide the subject of the conversation to your business within 2 to 3 natural exchanges. Then you make your ask. I'll show you exactly how in the next video. Once you have your list and you've taken a peek at what's going on in somebody's life, reach out to them about what you've observed with a short, personalized message. For example, if I see somebody just moved to Arizona, I'd text them or DM them and say, hey, I saw you just moved. How are you liking it in AZ? Or if they just attended a Taylor Swift concert, I'd reach out to them and say, hey, I saw you went to see Taylor last weekend. How was it? Or maybe if there are no recent posts that you can see on socials, you could say, oh hey, you go to insert school, what's your major? Your first message is that simple. We're just starting a fun conversation and letting people talk about themselves. I'll show you what to do if they respond in the next video. If they don't respond, follow up with them at least 2 more times. Now that you know how to make the initial reach out, we move on to step 4. Do that at least 100 times per day. This is because out of every 100 people, only 1 to 5 of them are likely to actually carry the conversation out with you, and even less will know somebody that's interested in your business. The more people we reach out to, the more clients we get, period. It's a numbers game. Move on to the next video to see what to do when people respond. Congratulations, they responded to your message. Now what? You act like a human. Here's how to break the ice without sounding like a salesman. It's called A.C.A, and it stands for Acknowledge, Compliment, Ask. For this example, I'm going to use my own business, Prestito PC, where we sell computers. And our personalized greeting of, hey, you go to insert school, what's your major? Acknowledge what they said. Restate it in your own words to show active listening. For example, oh, you're an engineering major. Compliment them on whatever they tell you. I have a friend who's an engineering major, and I can never do the work that y'all do. It's seriously impressive. Then ask questions to lead the conversation in the direction you want. So what do you like to do in your free time, if you have any? Acknowledge their response and lead the conversation with a question. Do you ever play video games? What do you play on? oh, you haven't had the real experience until you've played on PC. Or, oh, that's so cool, you play on PC? Then transition to the offer I'll explain in the next video. Let's try another example. Using my same business, but this time with the, hey, I saw you went to the Taylor Swift concert last week. How was it? Personalized greeting. Seems trickier, right? Acknowledge what they said and restate it in your own words to show active listening. Oh man, I bet that was so cool to see in person. Compliment them on whatever they tell you. I wish I could have gone. I've just been so busy with this new business I just started. You have really great taste in music. Ask questions to lead the conversation in the direction you want it to go. Do you go to concerts often, or do you spend most of your time at home? Acknowledge the response, then lead the conversation with a question. Have you ever thought about making music yourself? Oh cool, what do you edit your songs on? You don't? It's so easy and would really make your work stand out. Can I show you something real quick? Then transition to the offer. The A.C.A framework is how we guide conversations towards our business in a natural and non-intrusive way. It takes practice, so don't stress out if it feels unnatural or it's a little bit tricky the first time you try it. Now that we've guided the conversation towards the field or problem that our business is about solving, the next video will show you how to make the offer. Okay, it's game time. This is the point in the conversation where we tell them about our business. Again, don't worry, we're not going to sell to them directly. I'm about to give you an exact script that I wrote for you to use that'll give you the highest likelihood of success. Again, inspired by Alex Hormozi's book, $100 Million Leads. And one more time, we're not sponsored or affiliated by Hormozi, we just love his work. Here's the script. By the way, do you know anybody who has described the problem that your business solves that may be interested in dream outcome of your product or service? I'm in insert school or grade level, and I'm really passionate about insert your business's field and entrepreneurship. I just started insert the name of your business, and my dream is to do it full-time after school. If you're a service-based business, use the line, I guarantee you I'm the hardest working and most dedicated insert your service you'll ever meet. Does anybody you like come to mind who may be interested? Notice that we aren't asking them to buy our product or service directly. We're asking if they know anybody who would be interested. By doing this, we avoid selling to them directly and are simply having a natural conversation about something we're passionate about. And trust me, if they're interested themselves, they'll let you know. Let's continue with my computer business example. And this time, I'm gonna pretend like I'm a freshman in high school. By the way, do you know anybody who would want an ultra premium gaming PC, but doesn't have the money up front that may be interested in getting one for just $200 down, no credit required? I'm a freshman in high school and I'm really passionate about computers and entrepreneurship. I just started my business Prestito PC, where we sell premium gaming PCs on affordable payment plans. And my dream is to do it full-time after school. Do you know anybody who may be interested? Let's try a different example, this time with a lawn care business. By the way, do you know anybody whose lawn is getting too crazy that may be interested in a super affordable and premium lawn care service? I'm in middle school right now and I'm really passionate about landscaping and entrepreneurship. I just started my business Logan's Lawn Care, and my dream is to do it full-time after school. I guarantee you that I'm the hardest working and most dedicated lawn care specialist you'll ever meet. Does anybody you like come to mind that may be interested? From here, most people will say no. Some people will give you contact information for other people, and if you do this enough times, some people will take you up on the offer themselves. Getting your first 5 customers is as simple as going through this process of reaching out to people, guiding the conversation towards your business idea, and then making the offer as many times as it takes. You'll get better and learn what works and what doesn't the more times that you do it. There's no information that I could give you that would take the place of your real life experience. We've already covered the meat and potatoes of finding your first customers. The last thing that I'm gonna do is introduce you to a concept called objection handling. Pro tip, use voice memos to break up the flow of conversation because it makes it feel more personable. People want to talk to other people, not robots. When selling anything, people may have questions, doubts, or concerns. Objection handling is having a conversation to understand these concerns and provide helpful answers or solutions. It's about listening carefully, empathizing with the customer's concerns, and addressing them by providing information. The goal is to build trust and confidence, ultimately guiding the customer towards the decision to buy. I'm not going to teach you any scripts or methods to handle objections in this module, but if you notice many people saying no to your product or service for the same reasons, it may help to analyze why they have this concern and either fix it within your own business or come up with an explanation to ease or debunk their concerns, also known as handling their objections. Remember, the most important thing is to always be kind and passionate. If a sale isn't going to happen, that's okay. Just move on to the next reach out. Congratulations, you're now officially an entrepreneur. You've started a business and are working on getting your first customers. Running a business is not easy, but it can be simple. If you follow the steps from the last 6 modules, you're well on your way to success. I'm extremely proud of you for coming this far. Remember, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to other members or educators within the Bionic community. We're here for you. Last thing from me, don't move on to chapter 2 of my business building course until you already have your first 5 customers. Business is about taking action steps. If you don't use what you learn, then you haven't really learned it. I believe in you. Go crush it.